Hi there, you're watching Arizona Palms, and today I've got this tiny little PC that came all the way from Japan. There's basically no information about it on the internet or anywhere else for that matter. All I know is that it's small and beige. Looking at the front of the system, we can see that we've got power buttons, we've got a 3.5-inch floppy drive, a couple of status LEDs, a 5.25-inch bay, which currently has a DVD drive, which I'll get into later. And on the back, you'll notice that it's not very standard at all. We've got ports for joystick and mouse, serial ports, VGA, S-Video, RCA to connect to a TV, and a microphone and line out port. When you slide off the top cover, you're greeted with a very custom motherboard. Underneath the heatsink, there's a soldered on Cyrix Media GX CPU clocked at 166 MHz. The CPU works with this core logic chip to give you integrated video and sound, along with some boring things like the ISA bus. For a bit of context, Cyrix were a manufacturer of CPUs, just like Intel and AMD were and are still today. The Media GX was one of their products just before they were acquired by National Semiconductor in late 1997. The Media GX was a low-cost solution which integrated many of its important components into the one chip, similar to modern SoC or system-on-chip designs that you see today. Many people attribute Cyrix's decline to the poor performance in the popular first-person shooter Quake due to the lack of a good floating point unit calculation, whatever the hell that means. I genuinely don't know. In saying that though, after delving into numerous forum posts and discussion threads from that time, I found that that wasn't the only reason. Cyrix CPUs just kind of sucked even though they were cheaper. Cyrix's story at this point has been covered to death on YouTube, so I won't get into too much detail, but it fell short in basically every aspect compared to the equivalent Pentium. Despite how new and cutting edge integrating all of these components were in that time, this computer wasn't useful for very much more than your dad doing his taxes and chatting to your grandma over net meeting. For the longest time, I wasn't actually able to identify this PC. Underneath the system, there's a sticker that calls it the Brain Computer with a model number ALCM16MT. No results on Google for that. On the motherboard, the only marking is the word Oasis, which you'll find in 1 or 2 spots. I did find a video on YouTube of a guy showing off a Leo data book and this Reddit post where it was called an Elenex Lumina, and another French forum post with another Lumina. It wasn't until I rummaged deep into the bowels of Cyrix's website in 1997 that I found that there was a manufacturer called First International Computer of America, or FIC, which sold their Oasis system to resellers to slap their own badge on it. Where have we heard that before? That's right, it was under my nose the entire time. Simply put, the Oasis computer was designed to put a PC in the home or the small business at a very, very low cost. Let's get back to this unit. Let's have a look at the internals. Besides the weird processor, we've got 40 megs of RAM, which I upgraded to the maximum of 64 megabytes. There's a riser card here with 2 PCI slots and an ISA slot for expansion, and a network card in this weird slot that I'm pretty sure is a PISA or PISA slot. Everything is basically ready to go, as promised. There was a 3 gig hard drive that was in here, which I replaced with a 15 gigabyte hard drive, just so I could give myself a little bit of extra headroom with apps and games and stuff that I wanted to try on here. And if you're wondering why it has a DVD drive in here, the CD drive didn't work at all, possibly due to this CD being stuck inside for the journey from Japan to Australia. I figured this was a simple fix. Just grab another yellowed beige CD-ROM drive out of my pile of drives and it'll be good to go. I went through about 20 or so drives, but all with different issues during the process. Some wouldn't be detected by the BIOS. Some would crash the system as soon as I tried to read from a CD. Some were detected but worked for about 60 seconds before the data started appearing corrupt and the system would freeze up. Eventually, I gave up and settled on the beige DVD drive that you see in here right now. The weird thing about it is it happily reads burnt discs, but anything pressed, like a legit non-pirated game, doesn't work. So anyway, let's get everything connected up and the computer reassembled, and let's judge how much of a gaming powerhouse this thing really is.
So I've connected it all up and I wanted to test out a couple of games and see how far we can push the little Cyrix CPU in this thing. So hit that power button. It takes its time because of the memory upgrade. It has to test all of that RAM first. There we go. I love that little animation that it does. Windows 95 Plus, let's go. Like I said, the PC was advertised as a, you know, I'm gonna write a Word document with Clippy in the corner type of system, but that's really boring and no one wants to watch a man in his 20s use the Microsoft Office suite. There's nothing interesting about that. So of course I've loaded it up with a bunch of games. Beauty. Surrounded by the rubble. I need to change the colors because it's doing that weird graphical thing, but you get the point. SimCity 2000, it's gonna play beautifully on here. Jazz Jackrabbit is a DOS game, so not a Windows game. Just wanted to hear that audio quality. Interestingly enough, I've got these amplified speakers, and whenever I play a DOS game, I actually have to turn it up to hear it. I'm not the biggest fan of like non-Mario platformers, so... Oh. What buttons jump again? Alt, that's it. Oh, there's like a crunchiness to the sound. Yeah, I don't love that. I mean, the game's performing as it should. How do I shoot? Space, that's it. Oh, I'm not used to these controls at all. I think I played this game a little bit when I was a kid. One of my friends gave me a computer with this on it, and I thought it was pretty cool game, but I don't know, my heart was always with Nintendo and Super Mario when it came to platformers, so not really very nostalgic game to me, and you can see I suck at it. All right, so that was interesting. I wanted to try another DOS game here, Rise of the Triad. Difficulty, I think I left the stove on. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. You can hear the music slowing down as the CPU's doing things. Oh, I like that. I like how it bounces, that's sick. I want to do that again. Oh, that's cool. This is a cool game. I like the styling of it. Wasn't Rise of the Triad meant to be a sequel to Wolfenstein or something, and then they changed it? I don't know. Yeah. Okay, well that works. The music sounds okay. We've got the original Need for Speed. This is obviously going to be software rendering, but I kind of love the look of old school software rendering. It feels like a PlayStation 1 game, so it's very comfy for me. I feel like it performs slightly better when I'm in first person view, that's for sure. It feels very crisp and, oh god damn it, okay. Oh yeah, I survived that one. Head-on crash, just spin out and keep going. Hang on, I want to get pulled over by the police. Uh-oh. It's over, boys. Pretty sure he's meant to tell you off, but Anyway, that actually runs pretty well considering the Cyrix integrated graphics there. You know, I can see games like Warcraft, these kind of strategy games, they run just fine. Sound isn't too bad. I'm not 100% familiar with this game yet, so I'm not sure if it's meant to sound this way or what, but what's this gold mine? Oh, okay. Oh shit, okay. I'm gonna have to move this guy down here. What are you doing? Stop, attack him, and you attack him as well. Oh no, my farm. Let's try a bit of Duke Nukem 3D. What can I say? I really enjoy this game. I've only ever played the first episode. I really enjoyed it. I've been meaning to play the rest of the game. But I am familiar with the theme song. And I don't love how it sounds through this sound card. Oh, hear that slow down? Yeah. Let's go. I am playing this with probably my worst mouse. Piano, yeah, into the arcade. Whoa. The whole place will just explode. Yeah, don't really know how to end this one. Don't really know how I feel about this system. Maybe I can try putting in like a diamond monster voodoo card, see if we can get some 3D performance, but I don't know, I feel like it's kind of wasted on such a weird CPU. Anyway, that's enough for this thing. I'm gonna shut it down and say goodnight.